it's like we were saying this right before the episode started, that I've heard recently that I really like, which is that I don't want a problem with anybody, but if you want a problem with me, it's no problem. So like I think people should feel okay with themselves enough to understand that it's all right if someone doesn't believe how they believe without picking a fight with somebody.
Right.
You know, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so that goes to those two specific issues, religion and politics, quite closely. But it's also just the way that you live in general. Like, let people be. I don't understand why.
It's just such a different world. It's, you know.
And misery loves company. And people that don't emotionally regulate are miserable, and they just want to pass that on in a lot of cases, and that's unfortunate too.
Yeah.
But the social media and there's a lot of society today that is unfortunately set up around that, and you know, it is scary. It is very scary.
Well, it's I want to get back to, because I feel like we could go off on a tangent as far as like
You're good, do you think?
all that, but also I just wanted to say that if we're going to talk about like emotional intelligence as far as relationships are concerned, you know, I think it goes back to awareness. Self-awareness is like the cornerstone of that, and if you are not self-aware, then it's really hard to regulate any kind of emotionality. Is that a word? Emotionality?
I think probably.
It
I know
is
what you're saying.
now.
I know what you're saying. It probably is.
So like
Emotionality.
I was writing all this down, and I was thinking like when you have a breakup, you of course start to get that highlight reel in your head of you know, all the good times and all that kind of stuff. And then you start self-blame and, you know, I could have done this wrong. You start to ruminate. And that's when your nervous system just runs rampant. And you start to get that fast heartbeat. And it's almost like you're having a panic attack, you know. Can you relate to this? I know
100%.
You're married, so I don't know.
No, 100%. I mean, again, it's like, yes, 100%.
But
100%.
it's you can get to the point, and this has happened to me, where you get to the point where it's just like, oh my God, I can't control everything that's going on in my head. It's like you've had a dandelion and you've blown the dandelion, and all the seeds are just flying everywhere in your head, and
I
that
very, very much relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, your emotions are out of control,
Yeah.
and you know, like I said, in today's world, people, they're just walking around with all that, and then they're spouting it out to other people to make themselves feel better. It doesn't work. That's when you have to look inward at yourself and have some awareness of it. And even then, you can't do that when it's flying around in your head. So my point is, what worked for me was that, for one, I took a bunch of deep breaths and I would do something that would get me out of the situation. Just to sit here and ruminate on it, I would literally feel like I was losing my mind. So we get out.
That's probably the thing that I deal with more than anything else, is that I'll just sit and
You can't just sit. You've got to do something.
You can't outthink thinking,
Right.
Like you can't think to stop thinking. You have to just stop thinking.
So you got to get in your physical body first, meaning take deep breaths.
Have you ever meditated?
Oh, I try.
I find it shocking that you don't meditate, because what I love about meditation is that everything you're talking. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm going to pass it right back to you. But meditating, I did it this morning. Like I love.
But when you're in this kind of like dysregulation, meditating would not work for me, because that's too quiet. That's just like way too much. I can't.
Well, I also do a
get that
guided
controlled.
meditation where someone's talking.
Right.
So like I wouldn't just sit down and try to breathe it out by myself necessarily. But the reason why I brought that up and why I do think that you would like it a lot is because meditation, everything you're saying is what someone would be talking you through in that moment. Like the one that I use, and I could give you like my specific app later on. It's called Headspace. I've used it forever. But like this morning when I did I went like 5,000. I've gone like 5,100 and something every minute. So like I've done a lot of meditating on there.
That's awesome.
And one of the main things that meditation talks about, teaches, hammers home, whatever you want to talk about, founding principles, is awareness. Like that's what it's. So like, and on that particular app, like however you're feeling, you know, you would have a meditation for that. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, like the one that I did this morning was about acceptance, right? Because we're talking about a lot of things that I'm upset about, that irritate me, that are not in my control, right? And so the guy will walk you through the idea of acceptance and how it's actually about letting go of resistance, right? And today we're going to focus on, here's your breath, you know. It walks you through the breathing, but it also will say, the question in this particular case, the question you're going to ask yourself today is who or what am I resisting?
Right.
And then it's like, ask yourself that, and right now breathe, and it walks you through the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So doing that as a daily practice prevents you from getting into that kind of spiral to begin with, but also the
Right.
principles around meditation are very much what you're talking about.